Yo, so hello, and today basically we see this we take a look at this game because today because after the stream I'm gonna be publishing the Friday Funkin' TMK game. Made a mod out of this cool thing, so I'm gonna be I mean I did play the mod. It was a very good mod, and it inspired me to make a model off it, and I did about failure Kirby. So anyways, let's get into it. Wait, did y'all see that? Did y'all see that? Did y'all absolutely see that? Play this. Directly smile at you. Did you see that? Did you freaking see that? See, it turns legit right by you. Right to your face. So I don't know how to read this because this is Japanese. Okay, why should okay, so basically it shows some kids at the end of the video, and it's just this like circle looking thing with black eyes. We could all know that's Kirby with his one hand over there. We're gonna say why does Kirby look like that? The little pink the little pink enjoyable ball who likes to help people and save the world from danger. Looks like this. We'll find out later. Alright, so and when it goes to like that, it shows these kids with their eyes blurred out for reasons. And I usually think that they're dead because if their eyes are like blurred out, then I think they're like dead or just blur out their eyes since for reasons. So we can see that this looks like a girl over here. I can see, and this looks like two boys, and they're like sitting down and playing Kirby. But somebody took a picture. We don't know who took that picture. Probably could be a mom or the dad, but they're just playing it to Tetris kids while the kids were turned around and didn't see Kirby.
TMK. TMK.
They say, what is TMK? TMK is too much Kirby. I think it was like a back in the day ad for Kirby, where if you play too much Kirby, then you'll get the TMK. Too much Kirby, you'll turn pink and then you'll turn like a bad ball. And now, why does Kirby look like that? Oh, Kirby on drugs. Now you can see this house. See this house from the outside. And then we don't know what this is because this is a bit distorted. It looks like a TV or a gaming desk. Then we see Kirby on the TV. Alright, so the mom walks into the room. And they see some random kid hanging with his neck hanged from the ceiling. Oh yeah, also, if any of your family deal with suicide or something, please do not watch this video or stream, because it will be dealing with suicide, and I'll explain it later. But if you're able to handle this, don't report my videos, okay? Don't. Just don't. I freaking gave y'all warnings. If these videos can be on here, then my videos can be on here too. And then you remember how Kirby was right here, but all of a sudden he's gone.
Hello. Any reason you're calling me at 3 in the morning? Someone hasn't shot your car. Alright, that's getting worse.
Alright, what is Kirby doing? So always at the end there's gonna be some images. Yeah. So they have DVDs of Kirby, or like tapes of Kirby.
In later news, a brand new outbreak has come from the brand new Kirby. Some kids have these faked, but others. I warn all parents to put away their consoles.
Nothing? You can see a wallaby walking. What are you doing in my office? The bugs reports. I said nothing has. The bug reports. I said nothing has changed. That dumb bug again. Reports. We are paying to find serious bugs, not waste time on this wild goose chase of a bug. TMK is one of the million chances that happened on you. Now kindly find me an actual problem. Hold up. I was just about to say that this was just a re-upload. Well, if it was a re-upload, then why is it like 10 more... Then why is it like 12 more minutes longer? 12 more seconds longer. So, but this part, it kind of gets weird. Because how come this is not blurred? Blurred a little bit at least. How come the little bit's not blurred? Like, right here, some of this. Answer my question. Then we'll into a whole entire new dialogue. What? Answer my question. One question. Okay, that's weird right there. Because Kirby doesn't involve any blood, because it's like a regular kid's game. And at the beginning, you can see that there's like random bugs. whatever those are. Like Pokemons. And when you see this thing, like look at Kirby's that explodes it, and it just completely kills it, and just blows it out the wall, and it just shatters blood. And then why is it like have that normal effect where there's like no blood? Then for some reason you can see the glitch Kirby. You're a lot smaller than the last one. So this obviously is the kid. These kids are small, obviously. We all know that. And it might be like the kid playing, because don't you ever think that the kids just kill themselves just to get inside the game? Just to only lead themselves into the game. Which is kind of weird, to be honest. And to escape reality into like an alternate dreamland. That's why Kirby's world is dreamland. So yeah, did you ever think that? Yeah, I did watch the analog thing, but I kind of forgot about it. So. Right kid. Alright, so the kid who was probably hanging right there was this right kid over here. This kid. And I probably would say that his name's Donnie, since they keep on mentioning the name Donnie.
127 West Street, Melrose Bridges and Crawley. Within officer is well received news pickup.
With a fox. Wild squad.
Can't go there.
Why are you making that noise, Donnie?
Because you never want to pick up. So why not come over? Have you been drinking? Maybe. Not my home. Hey, you can't just walk in there. Tell me everything about it. My son just became a millionaire. So tell me everything.
Try new Almond Breeze Extra Creamy, our creamiest almond milk ever.
Does you see that right kid that they were talking about in the other episodes, right? He's crossed out. So he had to be the kid who committed suicide. But these kids, they probably went missing. When Dee plays with a his face. You can see this Kirby over here.
So, what killed him then?
Alright, now we're gonna watch
Can't go there.
No, we're gonna play this thing.
This is the Kirby Horror ARG. Let's explore it. Our series begins on Maple Riot's channel. The first video in the series, titled Kirby.mp4, follows a player starting a game of Kirby Superstar on the SNES. Kirby enters the level Spring Breeze and almost immediately succumbs to drastic health loss and corrupted files. Kirby dies and a picture of 3 children whose eyes have been blacked out appear on screen as a distorted smudge of Kirby watches from the TV behind. You may have noticed a date appearing on the screen, that being September 20th, 1996, which happens to be the North America release date for Kirby Superstar. But a few more mysteries lurk in this first entry. To start, right before Kirby dies and the screen turns black, a mysterious figure with one eye appears on the border of the screen. While it doesn't look entirely like him, the character is reminiscent of the series' regular Dark Matter, but we'll jump into this a little later. It also appears that there's 2 different forms of Kirby. One being the regular Kirby that dies during a level, and the other being the virus. This Kirby takes the form of the art on the intro that actually looks towards the player as the page slides across the screen. The virus also appears to manipulate Kirby's logo and the smudge we see on the TV screen. As it fades, we see a quick glimpse of a disturbing smile as he looks towards the children. Another note is during the glitches, real-life images flash of a radio station and police officers by their vehicle. What could this mean? Well, let's jump into episode 2.
Saw the sun setting behind him. That was something to see.
Begins with Kirby. The video titled Kirby's Test Room begins with Kirby running across screen as it cuts to an ad featuring doctors talking about something called
TMK.
However, this isn't just some random clip. TMK was an ad that ran for Kirby Superstar about a fake disease called Too Much Kirby.
Too much Kirby.
In the original ad, those infected simply just turned into Kirby. However, I feel as if the side effects in this ARG might be a little more sinister. We see the virus Kirby with a hole through his head, saying the word spread, which only solidifies the idea that TMK is being used as a real disease. The dead Kirby on the ground then gets revived with the same hole that the virus shares. We then see a final shot of Kirby on a real-life television, with the shadow of a dead boy hanging visible in the distance. Where could this be going?
Hello? Any reason you're calling me at 3 in the morning? Some of us have a job to do. You're right. It's getting worse.
The next episode picks up right where the previous one left off. Someone comes home, flicks on the light, and sees the boy hanging in the room. I assume it's the mother by the unsettling screams. We also see that Kirby, who was previously visible on the TV screen, is now gone. If you turn closed captions on, we see the name Brent Cole. I'm going to assume that this is the name of the boy who died, and we see a phone call mentioning TMK and how it's getting worse. The conversation then gets cut off by the virus, and the spread of the disease is visualized by the copies of Kirby Superstar multiplying. Okay, let's pause and take a bit of a theory break to catch everyone up to speed. It appears that real-life copies of Kirby Superstar are infecting players with a disease titled TMK, aka Too Much Kirby. This was mentioned in a real-life ad to promote Kirby Superstar, but the ARG is using it as a PSA to warn of the disease. Very clever. The virus that caused TMK takes the form of a one-eyed creature that looks vaguely familiar to Dark Matter, a popular Kirby villain. From what we see, TMK has caused one boy by the supposed name of Brent Cole to kill himself, and I assume the 3 boys in the first episode suffered the same fate. Some questions that are still left unanswered are the roles of the men on the phone and the inclusion of the radio station in the first episode. I guess the only way to conclude these is to move forward. So let's continue.
Okay, so we're gonna turn on captions because when I turned on captions, it actually say some stuff.
Let's continue.
Why was I created? Answer. Hello.
In later news, a brand new outbreak has come from the brand new Kirby. Some kids have escaped, but others, I warn all parents to put away their consoles.
I turned subtitles on because they are crucial to understanding the story from here. We see hidden messages from the virus asking questions regarding its existence. This is actually very interesting as it means the bug in the game isn't directly responsible for TMK. TMK could be a byproduct of the bug, but it's not like we have some malicious ghost in the code causing kids to kill themselves. We then see some snippets of news stations warning of TMK, and the confirmation that Brent Cole was indeed the 13-year-old boy who killed himself. The newspaper headline reads, "Game nearly kills boy," and while it's cut off, the title seems to read along the lines of, "Blank-year-old blacks out after he hangs some towel in school washroom. Jesus Christ." Although it's tricks out after he hangs some towel in school washroom. Jesus Christ. Although it's tragic, we find out that TMK can be cured. The news reporter states that some kids have been saved, and after seeing this bottle of pills and turning the brightness up, we can assume that TMK can be cured by having 2 of these pills a day. While this is the meat and bones of the episode, we do get a very important plot point here. If you pause on the frame after Brent Cole's tombstone, we see that the message below his name has changed to, "I have your son." The closed captions then read, "You can't blame me that my world is better than yours. You can only blame yourself." That phrase is interesting, "I have your son." While trying to think of what this meant, I went back to the original origins of TMK. In the Nintendo universe, TMK causes children playing Kirby to turn into Kirby. In this universe, the kids simply kill themselves, but I want to imagine that the core philosophy of TMK remains the same, that these kids become Kirby. If we go back to the episode where Brent initially kills himself, we see Kirby appear on the television. Later in the next episode, Kirby is gone. My theory is that TMK causes players to admire Kirby and his world, so much so that they want to join. Once Brent killed himself, he crossed the path into Kirby's universe and became Kirby, similar to how kids transformed in the Nintendo commercial. Once the mother entered the room, Kirby, now the boy, is gone as he's left to explore his new home. It's just a theory and I'm throwing it out there. So let's move on to the next segment.
Makes sense.
With GoDaddy Payments, you can sell anything, anywhere. Get paid online or in person, and manage all your sales from one place with the lowest
So basically, we could hear we could not, but I would say we pretty much hear like this. At least it's inside this guy's head. We'll say.
On to the next segment.
This fat so better. This fat so better listen. That's this side. What are you doing in my office? Okay. Is he drunk again? It still remembers me.
We see King.
It still remembers me.
We see King Dedede and Waddle Dee having a meeting regarding TMK, but it seems as if they're just representing the real-life developers of the game, with Waddle Dee being a man by the name of Donnie and Dedede being his boss. Donnie walks in questioning why no one is worried about the TMK bug, and Dedede responds annoyed, saying that TMK should be disregarded as it has a 1 in a million chance of occurring. During this interaction, we can read Donnie's thoughts through the captions. While most just question his boss's judgment, one mentions that he might be drunk. Looking at the description of the video, we see that this takes place on March 12th of 1996, just 1 week before the Japan release. It seems as if the manager in charge of Kirby Superstar was drinking during the final weeks and skipping over important bug patches to ensure the game was released on time. This is the assumed reason why TMK gets skipped over and the bug's inclusion in the final release. We then see Donnie visiting the bug, who welcomes him back by saying, "I miss you." Donnie then notices that the bug can remember people and it possesses thoughts, proving that it's much more advanced than an average glitch. This may seem malicious, but the description also gives a note from Donnie that reads, "Program bug does not seem hostile. Program bug seems to only want answers. Answers I can't give. I need to know who programmed this thing and why." This episode is clearly dedicated to the origins of the virus, but it is peculiar that it wasn't born evil. Something or someone must have influenced it. But who?
Alright, so why? Okay, I have a theory. So basically, I think this bug right here has Kirby with like the one eye can possess people and take their form because in like that one episode. It's in that one episode where Kirby like says like, "Why am I created?" I think that's like him. It's probably like him. So probably like give me a question. Why am I? And he probably doesn't want to. And he just doesn't want to be involved with the TMK thing and just doesn't want to like be a thing.
The next entry states that it's a re-upload of the previous installment, which is clearly bogus, but I believe it to be true to some extent, so let's dive into it. This entry starts off exactly the same as the last, with the only difference being the glitch effect over the interaction. The video glitches out to images previously seen until we jump back to the meeting, except DDD is a little different. It seems as if he has been possessed by the virus and continues on its quest for answers. He uses DDD as a host to ask Donnie about his creation, but due to his confusion, he has no answers. Like I said, I believe the word re-upload has some significance here. From what we've seen so far, it doesn't seem as if the entity in the game can directly control that outside of it, but it can influence thoughts and cause those with TMK to seek a life in Kirby's world. I believe Donnie's memory is being manipulated or re-uploaded by the virus in order to get answers regarding its existence, which explains the fuzzy glitch effect over the memory. Once this fails, Donnie is then brought back to the real world in front of the computer screen that he was left off on in the previous episode. He has no answers for the virus, so he loads his existence into the character we have seen throughout the series. The eye appears and the TMK bug finally has found a host.
Nah. If I can't do that, why even make it? There's one more body after this. I can finally get what?
Concept over 7 West Street, now there is breaking down crime. Within the officer was around the scene, please pick up.
Can't go there.
Why are you making that noise, darling?
Maybe.
The first clip shows some new gameplay footage of Kirby Superstar, except you may notice some graphical differences. This game might not quite get that E rating. If you take a look at Kirby's thoughts, you can see that he's inexperienced and getting used to the feel of the world. We then get greeted to the virus, who says he needs help to write a message to Donnie about TMK. He also notes that this Kirby is smaller than the last one. This basically proves our theory that the boys turn into Kirby after death from TMK and are being used by the virus for some plan that he's scheming with Donnie. If there was any doubt of this, it's almost certainly confirmed from the community post that Maple Riot made after this video, showing the kids and their Kirby models. You may notice that Brent was kid number 1, and he has unfortunately been crossed out. This makes me think that he was the Kirby who died in the first episode and has since been taken over by the virus. The virus then states that he needs one more body to find his true purpose, and the episode ends with police cars, possibly heading to the scene of the crime of this supposed last child. The next video picks up with the virus and Kirby. They're trying to bypass the security feature to swap TMK with the regular Kirby. However, Donnie is sleeping. I can't tell if Donnie just fell asleep or if this is the virus trying to bypass the system by himself. Regardless, Donnie is woken up by his boss arriving at his doorstep drunk. He barges in and finds that Donnie is messing around with the TMK bug. During Donnie's rant about why it's not okay for his boss to just storm into his home, his boss informs him that his son was the 1 in a million. He died and has become the 3rd child left in the virus's master plan. The video ends and season 1 has come to a close. Whew, I know it's a lot, so if any of this confuses you, let me just recap the whole story from what I understand so far. Just know that these are my thoughts and speculations, so other theories may differ. A week before the Japanese release of Kirby Superstar, a bug tester by the name of Donnie found a serious bug in the game that needed to be addressed. This went by the title TMK, which stood for Too Much Kirby. After multiple failed bug reports and meetings, Donnie found himself discovering a mind in the entity and acknowledged its intelligence. TMK wanted answers to its origin, but Donnie had no inside knowledge regarding the bug. With little to give, TMK was granted a host as a character in the final release of Kirby Superstar. Throughout its Japan and North American release, some players found themselves infected by TMK. TMK causes players to have a desire to leave their own world and join that of Kirby's. They find some unknowing attraction to Kirby's universe and, in an effort to cross the plane of existence, kill themselves. Once in Kirby's world, the virus finds and utilizes them in some way for his master plan. The connection between the deaths in Kirby Superstar was made, and news reports as well as PSAs were created to advise all players of staying off the game. 3 deaths have been confirmed so far, one being Brent Cole, the other a boy named Ryan Smith, and finally the boss's son who has yet to be named. The season ends with the boss finding out that Donnie has been messing around with the bug and demands answers on everything he knows about TMK. The story is only beginning, so I encourage everyone to check out Maple Riot's channel. I will leave a link to his channel in the description. Until then, let me know any theories you may have. There's so many possibilities to the way this series can go, so I would love to hear your ideas. Thank you so much, and until next time, have a wonderful evening.
Alright, so yeah, it's a pretty good thing at the time. Hey guys, let me show you one thing. We're not done yet, just one more thing. Alright. Here's season 2 teaser. Alright. We're gonna turn on captions, and why do we hear like the sound of Haynes? He's finally free from the what? He was right. He was right. We were both right. Alright, so this is the little boy, right? The little kid who killed himself. They could see him hopping out of his hopping out of the universe of Earth into this dark. And I get to see this Kirby game. The loop will never end. The loop will never end. Brian Cole, you will never be a part of my world. I wish I knew why you wanted it so bad. Alright, so don't blame me that my world is better than yours. Alright, somebody has a theory in the comments saying like that Waddle Dee is his boss and the Waddle Dee is like Donnie and Edie is the boss. And the police officer Mennonite. Mennonite, they never fought. Well, yeah, that's all we got now. It's basically all we got, so I'll keep y'all updated. So thank you for watching and see ya.